What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. We hear the NFL season opens upon us, and the Houston Texans kicked off the season with a bang, with a banger, because they fall to the Kansas City Chiefs, 34-20. But y'all know how I do. That was the real score of the game. I go by when the game was really competitive and really going on, and the real score of this game is 30-7. The Houston Texans lost this game 30-7. Yeah, they got the little two bullshit touchdowns at the end, and then the Chiefs kicked the field goal to make sure it was a 2-touchdown spread. But the real score of this game was 31-7. We're gonna talk about. I know you're probably saying, "Spitz, you're probably mad. You over there probably mad, huh?" No, I'm not mad at all. Now, yeah, I picked the Texans to win. I said they was gonna win, but I'm not mad at all, and I'm explaining why. Because there's a whole lot to unpack about this game, and also unpack about this season going forward, if you want to be quite honest. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down a little bit. Because the Houston Texans, like I said, they fall 34-20. Deshaun Watson he has 20 completions off of 32 attempts with a completion percentage of 62.5. He had 253 yards with an average of 7.9 yards per attempt. We're going to talk about that. Had one touchdown and one interception, was sacked 4 times, just like in the playoff game, and had a quarterback rating of 84.5. David Johnson, Houston Texans debut, had 11 rushes for 77 yards, 0.7 yards per carry, had one touchdown. Deshaun Watson had 6 rushes for 27 yards and a touchdown. Will Fuller was targeted 10 times, got 8 catches for 112 yards. Jordan Akins had two targets, 2 catches for 39 yards and a touchdown. David Johnson caught the ball 3 times for 32 yards. Randall Cobb caught the ball 2 times for 23 yards. Brandon Cooks was targeted 5 times, caught 2 passes for 20 yards. We're going to talk about that. Darren Fells targeted twice, caught 2 passes for 19 yards. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes had 24 completions off of 32 attempts for a passer rating completion percentage of 75 yards. Had completion percentage of 75. Had 211 yards with an average of 6.6 yards per attempt. Had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 1 sack. Had a quarterback rating of 123.3. Rookie Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 25 rushes for 138 yards and a touchdown. Sammy Watkins was targeted 9 times, had 7 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. Travis Kelce was targeted 6 times with 6 catches for 50 yards and 1 touchdown. Tyreek Hill was targeted 6 times for 5 receptions for 46 yards and a touchdown. The first thing I want to talk about is the Houston Texans cannot stop the run. Now, luckily, I had Clyde on my fantasy team, but I didn't think he was going to play this way. He didn't even do anything on the receiving end. I thought he was going to get a mix. He was going to get both receiving yards and rushing yards, and he didn't even do nothing like that. He didn't get nothing like that. It was just straight running the football, and he looked like how LaShawn McCoy did when back in Philly. How Andy Reid used to use LaShawn McCoy back in Philly back in the day. That's how he looked. He looked like he can get everything he wanted. Now, this Texans run defense, to me, looks like it's going to be a major problem. After watching that makes it look like it's going to be a major problem. You got Derrick Henry twice a year, and you also have Marlon Mack and Jonathan Taylor, who everybody thought Jonathan Taylor was the best running back in the draft this year. If Jonathan Taylor's the best running back in the draft, and Clyde looked like this, especially with the Colts offensive line, that's major problems. But I just wish we had some run stuff, like a solid nose tackle, or maybe even the best run stuffer in the NFL. That would be nice if the Texans were able to draft players like that. Oh, they did, huh? They did have players like that. It would be nice if they were able to re-sign players like that and use franchise tags on players like that to not let them walk. Oh, they did. They just traded them. And then another thing. Y'all like this jersey, right? Y'all see that? Y'all like that? This guy was extremely missed in today's game. The Texans scored off of David Johnson, and I'm gonna give you something. David Johnson, for the most part, looked it decent. Now the Kansas City does not have a legitimate run defense. We already know that's one of their weak spots is a run defense. But another weak spot is a corner. I mean, one of the corners out on suspension. They had a rookie out there who they tried to target, and it just wasn't flowing. Yeah, I said that Fuller had over 100 yards, had 112 yards, but he had that mostly in garbage time. It wasn't when maybe his first 60 yards is when the game really mattered. But the Texans scored first, just like they did in the playoff game, and you allowed the Kansas City Chiefs to go off 31 straight points. And this is one thing I want to, because I say about this offense, this guy was extremely missed. But also, we were sold a bit of goods that did not happen. They was talking about, we gonna get faster. We bring in Brandon Cooks. We got Kenny Stills. We have Will Fuller. We are now going to give Tim Kelly the control to call plays for the offense. Tim Kelly's going to call plays. Him and Deshaun Watson are linked because they had a game plan Monday through Thursday, and then Friday Bill O'Brien would change the game plan and call plays on Sunday, and they would be running stuff differently than what they've been working on all week. And that's part of the reason why the Texans was a slow start and they couldn't start fast, and that reason why it took them all the way to the playoff game versus the Kansas City Chiefs before they were able to score on the first drive. That's what was told to us. We're going to be quicker. We're going to be faster. We had to get rid of Hop so we can go fast pace. Boom, boom, boom. So we can go down the field so we can score at a high clip. We watched Kansas City offense and we wanted to be able to be like them. We got the speed just like them. Actually have more speed if you go player for player, speed for speed. Even though Tyreek Hill is faster than Will Fuller. But Will Fuller, Cooks, and Stills, those three receivers are faster than the Chiefs' second fastest receiver. And then so on and so forth. What was that we just seen? Because that offense looked extremely not only predictable, but very stagnant. And I hate to say this, I hate to beat a dead horse, but we already week one. It's just week one. And I'm already on the mindset that I was all last year. We need an offensive coordinator. I mean, we need an actual offensive-minded head coach. Even though Bill O'Brien's claimed to be offensive-minded head coach and Tim Kelly's a new offensive coordinator, bump all that. I've been saying this since last year that I want a new offensive head coach. And I've also been saying that if we're going to get a new offensive coordinator, I want to bring in somebody on the outside, not nobody on the inside. Because I said Tim Kelly has been with Bill O'Brien for the past 8 years. That's who he's been coaching with for the past 8 years. Yes, he's going to be doing something a little bit different, but the gist of his offense is going to be the exact same as Bill O'Brien because that's who taught him. I mean, if it's 2 plus 2 equals 4. If somebody's teaching somebody how to cook, boom, when they let that person take over and start cooking the meals, they're going to cook similar to the person who taught them how to cook. Duh. That's where they got their information from. He got information of how to coach an offense, how to design the offense from Bill O'Brien. Is he going to do some things differently? Yes, absolutely. But for the most part, his offense is going to be the exact same as Bill O'Brien. And that's what we've seen. We were sold this bit of goods to the speed and do. But tell me why the Texans are down 31-7. Why did Patrick Mahomes still have more pass attempts than Deshaun Watson? They end up with the same amount of pass attempts. But Patrick Mahomes had that 32 pass attempts way before Deshaun was still 25. You're down 31-7. You're down 31-7. Why are you not passing the football? Why does Patrick Mahomes have more? He has a 24-point lead on you. And he has a 24-point lead on you and almost have 10 more pass attempts than you. And then they didn't even throw the ball downfield. Nobody did, actually. The Texans did towards the end. I know Will Fuller caught that 30-yard reception on that. I think it was the second drive they scored a touchdown on. Come on, be for real. They're not we were sold this bit of goods of taking shots. They were saying it all throughout the telecast. Chris and them were saying all through the telecast. Well, we're not seeing any deep shots. And Deshaun Watson is one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL. He's one of the deep. Him and Mahomes are 1 and 2 in taking deep shots, the most deep shots attempts. And you didn't see none. The Chiefs didn't need to because Clyde Edwards-Helaire was running all over the Texans, eating up the time of possession. Make sure that Deshaun Watson and this supposed to be high-power offense on the field. I mean, on the sideline. They would run the ball, and then when they did throw the football, they didn't even throw it downfield. They were throwing out to the flats, and guys were catching the ball, getting yards after the catch. It didn't seem like that for the Texans. The Texans' offense seemed off and funky. I know people are going to say, oh, no off season. He didn't really get to work with his receivers. And, no preseason. That's bull because everybody's suffering from the same thing. Well, didn't nobody get no preseason. Didn't nobody get no joint practices. Didn't nobody get any a full off season. The only thing that you can kind of use as an excuse, and I'm not even going to allow you to use it as an excuse, is that he doesn't have a relationship with all these new receivers outside of Fuller and Steele, because Fuller's been here and Steele was here last year, so he doesn't have the relationship with Cooks and Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb didn't get his 2 catches to on the last drive, and Brandon Cooks got 2 catches early on and was non-existent the rest of the game. I know he had the quad injury going into the game, but hey, when you suit up and play, all that's out the window. Once you suit up and play, you suit up and play. And that's what we expect you to do. We expect you to play. And that's the only thing you can say. But I call bull on that because it didn't have to be there. Because you had, only if you had, one of the best receivers in the league, who was a guy who you could bona fide and guarantee catches. And I know what I said in my last video that Deshaun targeted Hop. And I know what I said before about, Deshaun used Hop as a crutch about, he could throw bad passes and his receivers would still catch it because Hop was still able to make spectacular catches. I know I said that. That still doesn't change the fact that not only is it true, but it still doesn't change the fact that you could have kept this guy on this field. And like I say, don't let people fool you by saying that Brandon Cooks is the replacement for Hopkins, because he's not. We didn't get Brandon Cooks till a month and a half later after the Hopkins trade. We didn't know that Brandon Cooks was going to be available. The person that we got the same day was Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb is Hopkins' replacement because they traded Hopkins and boom, got Randall Cobb 2 hours later. That's the replacement. You didn't get Cooks until a month and a half later. You didn't know and then you had to see if Cooks was available. You didn't know that Cooks was going to be available a month and a half earlier. No, that's asinine. Now, if you would have got Cooks the next day or later on that week, that means, okay, they were in talks with the Rams and they was just trying to basically clear up cap space and things like that. Or if it happened the same day. But when it happens a month and a half later, those 2 moves are not in the same boat whatsoever. And after David Johnson, like I said, David Johnson, he looked well in his runs. Like, he was hitting the hole better than I expected him to. I was pleasantly surprised with what I seen from David Johnson early on. He averaged 7 yards per carry. And I know some of the yards he got in a little bit of garbage time, but his touchdown was a longer run that he's had like this in the last 2 years. That 19-yard touchdown run was the longest run he had in 2 years. Like I said, he hit the holes well. Like, he hit the holes like how he looked in 16. So I will give credit what's credit due. And I'm not going to say I'm full out wrong, because we got to see if he can keep this up for a full 16-game season, because he did go to the sideline. And then also Duke Johnson left the game with a leg injury. So that's not boding well for the Houston Texans right now. But it's not looking good for Bill O'Brien, because the moves that you made by letting DJ Reader walk and trading Jadeveon Clowney last year, these chickens are coming to roost. Because it's by you and ass. Because you got Lamar Jackson next week. And then, like I said, you still got 4 games against the Titans and the Colts combined with 2 good rushing attacks and 2 good offensive lines. Good luck. Good luck. Because the performance that I just seen today means that this run defense is going to be horrible. And then also on the back end, on the receiving end. Okay, you gave this thing to Tim Kelly. Tim Kelly needs to be more creative. I expect to be more creative. I said I'm not angry. I'm not mad about the game. But I'm highly disappointed on how this offense looked. I definitely expect this offense to be a quicker, faster pace. And it seemed like they were out of sync. And that's on coaching, because you gave up a guy who had you had chemistry. You had chemistry, you had synergy with your receiving core. With Hopkins, Steele, and Fuller, you had those 3 guys actually missed well. So I think the Steele fit better with Hop and Fuller than with who else we had, Bruce Ellington and other receivers that we had in the years past to try to mix in. When we we traded for Demaryius Thomas, even though Will Fuller wasn't available at that time. Stills fits this better. And I've always said that Hop and Fuller were a perfect yin and yang. They were perfect complements to each other. Their games complement each other correctly. And Hop helps open up Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller's speed helps open up Hop, but they both help open up each other because Hop is just that dog who gonna catch passes, and when you start double teaming Hop, Will Fuller's beating you over the top. Now you can start taking the chunk plays. So maybe that's the reason why we weren't taking chunk plays, because they were bracketing Will Fuller. They were able to take Will Fuller out, and you couldn't go deep. I'll have to look at the all 22 exactly to see exactly how the coverages was looking. Maybe that's the reason why they couldn't take any deep shots. But you would think with Cook's speed and Steele's speed that they would be able to exploit some other mismatches. In my mind, that's what I was thinking was going to happen, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen at all. Like in my mind, that's what I was expecting that was going to happen, and it did not happen. So, in all, some good things that happened out of this game. Like I say, David Johnson looked decent. I would like to see more Akins. That one move that Akins had was nasty. Like his first reception, he caught, he dipped over in the over the DB and was able to keep running. Like that was nice. We need to see more of that. We need to see more playmaking ability from Jordan Akins, and I do think he has the capability to be the most explosive of the tight ends until we see whatever Kyler Wainwright can bring to the table. But this passing game has to get opened up more. Like, you have to open up the playbook. If any game was to do it, it was this game. They had a rookie corner out there that you couldn't even exploit. I know Deshaun and I know the rest of these guys can exploit. I know they can exploit this. I damn sure know that number 10 could have. So, the whole contract, I know people were worried about the contract that he got and stuff like that. You didn't even have to give him that contract. You know why? Because he's under contract already for 3 years. And because the new CBA that was signed before the trade, it's basically virtually impossible for him to hold out. It would not benefit Hopkins to hold out for nothing. So, boom, you just renegotiate his contract next year. You cross that bridge when it comes to it. Let's just put it to it like that. But week 1, we're 0-1. This makes Bill O'Brien what? Under Deshaun Watson, he's 0-3 in season openers with Deshaun Watson. 2 years ago, he started off 0-3. Last year, he was able to right the ship and win week 2. If Deshaun and Bill O'Brien go 0-2 because they play the Ravens next week, if they go 0-2, and then you have Pittsburgh after that, Minnesota after that, Jacksonville, the Titans, and then Green Bay, there's an extreme chance the Texans can start off the season 1-6 before they reach their bye week. And if they do that, I don't care about all the noise that was said. This is something I'm going to say. If the Texans start off 1-6, Bill O'Brien's not making it past this bye week. He's not. You don't even have draft picks to even benefit from having a bad season. But one thing you can benefit is getting rid of getting a new head coach out here. Getting a new head coach. Because the guy who's across, Eric Bieniemy, I like what Kansas City was able to do. Kansas City's offensive game plan showed you something. Not to mention they just won a Super Bowl. Y'all know I've been talking about Byron Leftwich since last year. I know I've been talking about Byron Leftwich since last year. Former NFL quarterback. I think and we're going to see what his offense is under Tom Brady. And like I said, maybe not firing Bill O'Brien last year might be a good thing, because I think it gives Byron Leftwich another year to get another offensive coordinator, because that last year was his first year being an offensive coordinator and calling plays. It was his first year calling plays. He was an offensive coordinator in Arizona, but he didn't call plays. It's his first year calling plays last year. This is the second year calling plays. Now he's showing you what he can do with Tom Brady. And I think that maybe, just maybe, he'll start getting a little bit more buzz as a coaching hire. And maybe then Houston Texans can pull that trigger, because you have your quarterback set. And I know Deshaun did not look well today, even though, and it's crazy. He didn't look all that, but still had over 60% completion. Still had over 60% completion percentage. It's amazing. Even when he didn't look well, he still was efficient. Like that just show that right there actually shows you how good Deshaun is. After watching that game, you like Deshaun did not. I'm watching this game like Deshaun did not look good in this game. This is not a real good performance. And then you go back and look because if you take out the garbage time, he was still very efficient. So that shows you what you have here. It's like there's something else that's missing. Offensive line did not play well. They gave up 4 sacks just like they did in the playoff game. We got pressure early on, just like the playoff game. It's so reminiscent of the playoff game. Texans score first. Texans score first. Chiefs score 31 unanswered points. Deshaun gets sacked a lot, gets a lot of pressure. The Texans got pressure early on in the game, but then after that was non-existent and couldn't stop the Chiefs' offense. Extremely reminiscent of the last time we seen these guys on the field. Can they fix it? Can they fix it? Because right now it looks like a personnel problem. It looks like an extreme personnel problem. It looks like it's the personnel on the field. And hey, we tried to get over the Hopkins trade, but this game right here just shows you this offense looks extremely different without number 10 out there. It really does. Even with Deshaun Watson being the quarterback, this offense looks real different without number 10 out there. And this defense looks real bad without somebody that can stop the run. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell, give me a video. I holla.